and welcome to the program. I am DEJI360. Now, the biggest story coming into 2024 in Nigeria is a fantastic investigative story on a fraudulent degree issued to a Nigerian investigative journalist, Umar Audu, of Daily Nigerian newspaper. Audu had gone undercover to expose the massive fraud some foreign universities, especially in Nigeria's next-door neighbor, Benin Republic, now engage in by literally selling their degree certificates to anyone interested in buying. So in the case of Audu, in just a period of 6 weeks and with 600,000 naira, he was able to secure a degree certificate at École Supérieure de Gestion et de Technologies, or ESGT for short, based in Cotonou, Benin Republic. Now, what is even more interesting and dramatic is the fact that Audu would later use the controversial certificate to enroll for the NYSC program for the second time. It's a fantastic undercover investigative story, and as expected, it's generated a lot of reactions. One is that the Nigerian government has now blacklisted 18 foreign universities from Benin Republic and Togo after the report. The government now says it plans to extend sanctions to more African countries by suspending accreditation and evaluation of university degrees from such countries like Uganda, Kenya, and Niger Republic. The ICPC, that's the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission now, has also waded into the matter and is currently investigating officials of the Ministry of Education and immigration officials who may be complicit in the grand scheme of fake certificates from foreign universities, especially Benin Republic. According to the certificate now issued to Audu, the undercover investigative reporter actually commenced his program in 2018 and graduated on September 5th, 2022. But the fact is that he never took part in the course. He never took part in any program at all. He got his certificate in just 6 weeks. 6 weeks now. Audu also got the school's transcript that bore the authentic scan code of the school in question. Speaking further on plans to set out now by the federal government following the investigation, Nigeria's Education Minister Tahir Mamman has said security agents will go after those with fake certificates from these foreign countries, already using them to secure opportunities in Nigeria. The Daily Nigerian investigative reporter Umar Audu now joins me to shed more light on the issue. Now, that was a fantastic investigative report you did. And before we go into the nitty-gritty, tell me, what was the motivation behind it? How did you come by this? How did you decide you were going to do this?
All right, fine. Once again, thank you for having me. So, like I said in my previous TV appearances, I said I got my motivation from the feedback we got from some Nigerian students who lamented bitterly how some of their colleagues who maybe they are in the same department or same university were expelled or withdrawn from such institution here in Nigeria. And after a few months, you see them wearing NYSC uniform, serving the country. And that raised our curiosity to dig deeper, to know how these things are done, how this thing works, who are behind these things. And to the glory of God, we are able to come out of the project successfully.
So you actually sat down, discussed the idea with your editor and the editorial team, and you were given the green light to go ahead.
Of course, yes. Because when I first heard that, when my editor, it was actually my editor who conceived the idea. He told me about, he pitched the story to me that people do get degree certificate. And the fact that Daily Nigerian newspaper have done a similar investigation in the past, in 2018, and we hope that after that investigation, then this thing will be wiped off our system. But unfortunately, it continues, and it even got worse to the extent that within a month, you will be able to purchase your degree certificate. So that was where we thought, okay, we just need to come in and intervene before our education witnessed total collapse.
Were you in the course of your investigation? You look at the way things went. Were you surprised that things turned out the way that turned out? Because um, from what we have seen, things just went seamlessly. It's like, you got an agent, and then from that point, things just went on sort of seamlessly, even though you encountered some problems along the road.
Yeah, but buying the degree was seamless. It was a seamless process. So I just paid and I got the assurance from the agent that this thing will be ready in a month. And unfortunately, I couldn't get it within a month. So it got to the second month, and but before the month end, I received my certificate. Although there was also a mistake on the transcript, it indicated that I was a female. So I complained to him, and the transcript was taken back to Cotonou, and the correction was effected. So I don't, yeah. So the correction was effected, and he brought it back to me in March.
And
So after that,
did
I
you at
applied
any point,
for.
doubt the process itself, that this report was just going to turn out the way you had expected?
So the reaction was massive, to be honest, and I must really want again thank Nigerians for accepting these things, because a lot of people feel cheated. So, and when this report came out, the reaction was just, I definitely knew, we all knew that it was a big story, but this kind of reaction, did we anticipate it? I would say no, honestly.
Now let me ask you this, Umar. When you and the team, your editor as well, everybody, when you had the planning, what was the plan? Was the initial plan to even use that certificate to test if you could actually use it for the NYSC, or the initial plan was just to see if you could procure the certificate?
No, that was the initial plan. Going for NYC was part of the plan. Otherwise, this investigation would have been released long time ago. You understand? Say maybe in March or April. But because I remember when I was having serious challenges getting NYC evaluation, both the physical and online evaluation. So I discussed with my editor and I said, yo, we have this certificate already. Can we just go ahead and publish this story? He said, no, we should just, since I have been registered, I've registered, I'm done with the fingerprint, which was our fear. So that process was also seamless. So there was no need for us not to go ahead. We should just go ahead. Let's try and see how we can, since again, we had those who graduated from all these mushroom universities at the evaluation center trying to beat the system. So because at every point I was giving him the feedback, I told him that there were a lot of us who were not cleared, who had degrees from Cotonou and Togo, so over 50 of us. So he said, and what are those people doing? What are the alternatives? What alternatives are they trying to use? And I told him the alternative. He said, okay, let's also follow that route too. So, and we followed it, and at the end of the day, I was lucky that I passed through that process again.
Tell me how you felt when it turned out that you had enrolled for the NYSC a second time, and then you got to camp, you were accepted, and all of that. I mean, you must have had goosebumps, because you knew, look, what you were doing was just an investigation, that it's not as if. How did you feel that you were serving for the second time, even though the second time was not the real thing, so to speak?
It's not the real thing. Yeah. So again, when I got I got my final clearance from NYC. I think it was around October ending, or okay, mid-November, that I'll be going for batch 6 stream 2. I was like, wow. I checked the dashboard at night, and in fact, I couldn't have a good sleep that very night. So in the morning, I gave the feedback to my boss and I said, this is it. So again, but I was a bit scared that maybe NYC is aware of what
And was
I'm
setting
doing.
you
They know
up or
that I've
something.
committed an offense, and they'll just maybe wait for me at the camp and embarrass me. So I had that fear. But again, I arrived at the camp in Cross River State, Obubra, went through the security checks. I was allowed to go. did all the necessary documentations again in the camp. I had goosebumps. I was like, wow. When I saw myself in that kit again, the white shirt and the short knicker and the tennis canvas and all, I was like, wow. So I could actually pass through this experience again. So I just accepted the reality that, okay, yeah, I'm here and I have to behave like every other core member in this camp. So I participated in all the activities. I wake up at 3 a.m., dress up, go to the meditation ground, do all those regimented exercise that you witness in camp. So I passed through it and it was amazing.
Quite amazing, to be candid. Quite amazing. Now, I know you spoke about. I read somewhere where you said what you earned during the youth service and on all the allowances that you were paid, that you returned them, including the NYC fatigue and everything you were given. Could you speak to us on that?
Yeah, I returned the money. I was paid on December 7, 2023. And
So
okay,
you did not
so before
complete
we
the
published the
NYC program.
story, hello. So initially, I wouldn't have even submitted my account details to be paid. But again, NYC is one organization that is very decent and they are well organized the way they do their thing. So when we are asked to submit account numbers, you understand? So if they will publish all the account numbers that were submitted by core members, if there's any error. So I wanted to submit a fake account, but I know that NYC is they're very
Yeah,
thorough in
they'll
it. So
detect.
once they notice that I submitted any wrong detail, they'll come after me and that will raise suspicion. So that's why I just played along, submitted my account number, I was paid 39,400. And before we published it, and I told my boss that okay, I was paid. He said, okay, fine. Let's just keep that money. So before we published the story, I went to a cyber cafe, generated a remitter, NYC remitter platform, and I paid the money back to them. So, and that saved me. You know why? So after this report went viral, so the state coordinator for NYC called that, okay, we've seen the work you did, whatever. So fine. So, and we heard you said you've returned that money. Can we have the receipt? I said, fine. I forwarded him the receipt. After that, he said, can we also have those kits that were given to you in the camp? I said, yes. He said, okay, please. And just yesterday, I sent those items to him via the park, and he acknowledged receipt of all the items that were issued to me, except for the jungle boot which I left in the camp there.
Now let me get this right. You did not finish the NYC program. You only just
No.
okay.
No, I just went for the orientation camp, and even at the orientation camp, I spent only 8 days, and I applied for exit and I left.
And the truth is that if you had not applied for exit, if you had not done all of if you had wanted to serve,
Yeah.
you would have continued all
So
through.
I could have continued throughout the year. Nothing will happen. Because in fact, at some point my LGI called me that we've not seen you at your duty post. What's the problem? What's the problem? I said, sir, I've decided to quit. He said, okay, please make it formal. I said, fine, I will do that.
And this is, I really commend you. I'm an investigative journalist myself, and I know what it takes to do stories like this. Now, let's now go back to this, the whole process of securing the degree. Can you just, in brief now, explain to us the processes and what you went through and, in eventually securing this degree in a period of just 6 weeks?
Okay, so in December 2022, when the story idea came up, I was linked up with an agent. So I called him, okay, this is what I need. Can I get it done within a month? He said, fine, we can get it done for you. We've been doing it for people, and I can also get it done for you, because I gave him the impression that I have been withdrawn in some Nigerian universities. So, and in fact, my parents are almost fed up with me that if I can't get it right this time around, that's the end of it for me. He said, okay, no wahala, just paid. So what class of degree do you need? I told him he said, so the amount differs depending on the class of degree you want
Oh, whether it's first
to
class, whether it's
purchase.
second class, or third class.
Yeah, third class. I think even first class. So, and I told him that, okay, let me settle for second class upper. So he said, okay, your money is 380,000. I said, fine. Must I pay it once or installmental payment? He said, whichever, but if you pay once, at least it will hasten the process. I said, okay, let me just pay 300K. And we agreed and I paid 300,000. So after a week or two, he called that I need to pay the balance. I said, okay. I transferred the balance of 80,000 to him. So after that again, so the certificate came after 6 weeks. It was delivered to me, like I said earlier, and there was error in the transcript. It was returned back. So I had to pay. And part of that 380,000 covers for getting evaluation letter from the Ministry of Education. It also covers for stamps, immigration stamps. It also covers for residency permit. Yeah, I think those three items. So, but along the line again, there were requests for some more money for evaluation letter and other processes. So everything altogether I spent 600,000.
And all of this you did on the phone.
Yeah, no, but I met him, I think twice. We met twice, and we met twice because I wanted to see him. I wanted to know the person I'm dealing with.
Did you ever at any point think he was going to dupe you?
No, so our conversation gave me the assurance because it was like I knew that I was speaking with not a fraudster because like his conversation was assuring. So when I met him, I saw the kind of person he is. That also gave me confidence that okay, let's just, and after all, this is an investigation. You just have to risk it. It's two things will happen. Either it works or
not.
One of those two will definitely happen. And luckily he delivered.
Now, you know, how much, I'm just wondering, because from all of this, you get the impression that, look, the school was also involved in this scheme somehow, because what you were given was not a fake certificate anyway. Let's face it.
There was a scan code on the transcript, so which indicates that this is a legitimate document I was given.
That's quite true. Now, just before I let you go, for you, what lessons have you learned from this, and what lessons would you want people to learn? And you know, just speak to us on those.
So the lesson is that there is no shortcut to success. Whatever you want to do, just do it right. So now some people are like those who are attacking me are claiming that okay, they've been working or they've not been able to secure a job because of all this kind of investigation we are conducting. So if you do the right thing, nobody will come after you. But once what you are parading is fake, one day, until you go market, you know, go come back.
No, come back.
So that is just it. So pardon me for using that pidgin.
I understand.
So, but you just do the right thing all the time. So that prosperity will always be kind to you. So now those who are parading this certificate now are panicking. You understand that, okay, maybe there might be a rule, there might be a screening from their office or their organization. So all those kind of things, or they won't get a job, they'll have to come back to Nigeria and school again, all those kind of things. So just do the right thing. That is just
and you know, something else that people have to understand is that as journalists, our job is actually to highlight the weaknesses of society and point those out, because some people have this wrong impression that you targeted the school, you were trying to destroy the image of the school and all of that.
Someone even said maybe I was
I
was targeting someone. Maybe I knew that there's a big maybe there's a big shot out there who is parading this. I didn't know anybody. I don't know anyone who is. All I knew is that I had feedbacks. I also saw people. I have like witnesses that I knew that they attended this kind of mushroom school. But it's not to target anybody. It's just to make our society be a better place. After all, Nigerians are facing too many stereotypes from outside the country.
Yeah.
So once you begin to have these kind of things, it doesn't speak well of us as a nation. It adds to our problems. So I just did my job, and that's why I'm calling again. I want to use this platform also again to call on the security agencies to make sure that I am protected because what's it called? I've been receiving threats. Yeah, just yesterday I saw one guy who called himself a non-president of Benin, saying calling for my arrest. Why? I doubt if that anyway. I doubt if he's a genuine student. Those are the kind of people who parade these degrees. So again, I'm urging the security agencies to make sure that my safety is protected. Nothing happens to me. I'm a journalist. I'm not a criminal. I just did my job, and I deserve accolades, which the National Orientation Agency just sent me a commendation letter again. So these are the kind of things we need to be seeing, not threat and intimidation or sending journalists to exile for doing their job. So yeah.
I can assure you more accolades will come. But finally, what do you make of the actions that the government has announced now, suspending the evaluation of certificates from 18 foreign universities now?
Of course, I'm happy. Naturally, I should be excited, and I'm really excited. And I want to also again commend the Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mama, for taking for reacting, like for taking a proactive measure and reacting immediately. He didn't wait till maybe after a month or two. No,
yes.
He acted, even though he said they are suspended it at the moment pending the investigation. So, which I hope they will also make public after the investigations are concluded. I really commend the federal government and the minister for a job well done.
Umar Audu, well done. That was a fantastic story. Very, very fantastic. By God's grace, you'll be fine. You'll be very fine. And thank you for doing a wonderful job.
Thank you very much for having me, DeJi.
Thank you so very much. All right, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue discussions on this topic. Don't go away. Stay with us. Opinions are free. Facts are sacred. But truth is universal. How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.